We have a 13. Marvelous.
Unlucky number. The horror.
See, you say that, but I quite like this one. A fusion of Seviper and Hydra.
Ooh.
Give me a moment.
My experience of Vipers. Oh, that's a Viper. I'm getting mixed up with Superior. Superior
Yep.
is a very hard Pokemon to draw.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Oh, my cat's coming to join us. No, you're walking away. Oh, you're not going up on the windowsill. God, I put some stuff on the windowsill so she wouldn't keep going up there, and she just noticed, and she was just walking away to the other room with such anger in her footsteps. She's in a proper wee huff. My cat's name is Willow.
Marvelous.
She's a precious child. Full name Pussy Willow.
Yeah, figured that was going to be
Hmm.
Keelan asking that.
If
So
I
yeah,
remember correctly, Survivor is usually always about Zigzagoon.
yeah, they have a like they are like rivals according to Pokédex entries. Like they are actively trying to kill each other 90% of the time. I'm not giving it this many heads.
Coward.
Ah, it would help if I used the fucking pen tool, wouldn't it?
Come here, Willow. Come on. Have you forgiven me now? What? You gonna say something? Ah, I've not managed to get her to meow on cue yet. She's learned that if she pokes me, she'll get like she can just reach her little paw out and just tap me a few times to get my attention. The problem is it's gotten to the point where she just relentlessly mashes me. I got my vaccine the other day, and you can imagine where the first place she decided to poke me was.
Yep.
If you throw up right now, I'm gonna be very angry. I hope you know that, doll. If you throw up, you're not getting any more milk. I'm kind. I'm sorry. I'm kind of just zoning out here. I'm
That's fine.
messing with my cat. The second she worked out where the milk came from, she comes running up whenever I try and get myself a glass.
Yeah, we'll go for 4 heads because probably not going to be able to fit in much more than that and still have it in any way recognizable as an entity.
Well, if I remember, am I remembering correctly that these are the guys that grow more heads if you cut them off?
Yeah,
So they can more or less have any number of heads. This is just after the parties encountered them and didn't know that they'd grow their head back. Okay, she's just sitting on the
They
chair
look
next
so
to
goofy
Mace.
looking when they, because of that wee dip in the cheeks, they look so goofy looking when you haven't drawn the fangs in.
I'm gonna fucking murder Zangoose.
Oh, it kind of, I don't know
Uh-huh.
why, I just kind of like immediately slipped into a goofy voice. I go, oh, I'm coming for you now, Zangus. I
I
turned
think I
down
was
all the
going
big
for a banjo.
corporations.
Why? What's the matter, doll? Eh? Are you upset that I'm not paying attention to you? No, she stopped caring. Hmm. Constant polishing makes the edge of its blade on its tail extremely sharp. In the new
Oh, he has a
Pokemon,
blade in his tail. Okay, so hang
yeah,
on.
in the new Pokemon Shout, they actually like show him doing that, which I think is really cool.
That's good, since they actually show it. That's why I love the Pokemon Snap games. They're so cool.
Yeah, like you can tell they really put a lot of effort into making it like feel like they're all. God, I absolutely love those games. I love that they just like released like 2 new levels for free like a month later and nobody talked about it.
Really?
There's like a level where you shrink down so you can like go past all the bug Pokemon. They're massive.
Well, that's. Imagine there'd be people who didn't like that.
And then there was the other one, which is based on one of the levels from the original Pokemon Snap, like the waterfall one,
Right.
where you throw stuff into the waterfall and the Gyarados comes out.
Man, it's the same game where you throw an apple and knock a Charmander into a pit of lava,
I always found that so weird.
and what you assume is the same Charmander evolved as into a Charizard comes out,
I think
just skipping Charmeleon. It's
I
actually
think
just a completely different Pokemon. You're
could be
upset.
like the Charmander's mother, like coming out as like, "Who hit my child?" I always found it a bit weird because like Arcanine and whatnot come out of the lava as well, but they have flash fire.
Hmm.
I always loved the Vulpix. That bit in the lava level, like if you don't, there's like an egg in the middle of the stage, and if you don't bonk out the way, your cart gets stuck, and you
Yeah.
can throw apples at Charmanders, and just they just bring over more and more of them until you just got a whole army of Charmanders.
Is did I really draw a multi-headed creature and not have its leftmost head doing something stupid?
Give it pecs.
No. Is that Ditto asking for that?
Maybe. It occurs to me that you're quite good at keeping the screen. I think I zoom in and move about a lot. Which is
Yeah, that's just because the zoom function on my board get okay. It was perfectly smooth there, but if I'd been using it a lot, it gets really janky.
Yeah.
Like it kind of it flickers back and forth between two states quite a lot.
Yeah, and I know Photoshop is quite like machine intensive, if I recall. But it's usually better not to move it around too much while streaming because it's
Yeah.
less disturbing for the viewers. That's something I should probably work on. So Viper's shiny form looks so much nicer in the earlier games.
Does it?
In fact, so does its normal form. I hate it when that happens.
And does it get changed up quite a bit?
No, it's just a lot more saturated.
Oh.
So, people in the chat, what are your favourite Pokemon? I can possibly guess at least one of these.
If it's Ditto, you're wrong. His favorite Pokemon is not Ditto. If I
Well,
remember
maybe I
correctly,
guessed that it wasn't Ditto.
he didn't even know Ditto was a thing when he made his nickname Ditto. Ditto.
I was wondering that because you said earlier you weren't that familiar with Pokemon. And Quiz is a cool Pokemon.
I'm disappointed we didn't have on the list of fusions that I should have had on. The Pokemon idea that kick-started the idea of this stream. Eevee and a ghost.
Oh yeah!
And all the horrible things we suggested doing to an Eevee to evolve it into a ghost type.
To be fair though, there's probably lots of depictions on that on the internet already.
Oh yeah, there is. Very definitely.
I can draw it afterwards. Oh, Mimikyu. Mimikyu's a cute Pokemon as well. I feel like I just sort of go, oh, that's a cool Pokemon every time I hear a Pokemon. I think that's just my natural reaction, just a bit of admiration for the individual design process that went through towards making it. So not to be all like first generation versus later generations, but I feel like later generations they put a bit more like time into the designs of them, like a bit more thought.
That's the thing. I think there is a lot of kind of there's an example in every generation of inanimate object with eyes stuck on.
Yeah,
Because people, that's something I always see brought up when it's like people are criticizing new generations, like, oh, they just stuck eyes on a blank, and it's like, yeah, Geodude is a rock with eyes on it.
yeah.
What's your point?
The thing that really irritates me about the earlier generations is when some of the evolutions are like barely any different.
Hmm. Yeah, I get that.
Although thinking about it, that could just be because in like hindsight, I've gotten used to Pokemon evolutions being this big dramatic difference, and maybe they weren't originally.
Well, no, some of them definitely were, because I mean, you go from Magikarp to Gyarados,
Hmm.
so it's not like there weren't Pokemon that had massive differences.
And then you get ones like Ponyta and Rapidash, where it basically just gets a horn.
It gets a horn and slightly bigger.
I think they went for like a phase. I feel like fourth generation Pokemon got a lot more detailed, but nowadays they're sort of dialing it back a bit. Like they're still more detailed, but I think that just sort of comes naturally due to the fact that there's no longer the limitation of like space to fit in those
Yeah,
details. Same with colors. I think the fact that they're no longer being designed to fit into a small, a small pixelated image with limited colors. I think the fact that they're no longer. I'm just going right in circles now.
but yeah, you're right. I think the fact that there is now more space available that they can use to kind of make each design more visually distinct from each other design.
I think like early on they could. I don't know, it was more of a testament to design skills to be able to do distinctive Pokemon with less. I think as well, like especially with the shiny Pokemon, because they no longer do shiny Pokemon in the same way, and I think that's kind of ruined a few of them.
Because it used to be like just a straight color swap, kind of. It is still just a straight color swap, but it used to be like less all
What they used
encompassing.
to do was change the whole palette at once,
Yeah,
and they'd change it like they'd make it. I think originally in like the second generation they'd used a color palette from a different Pokemon, and then later on they sort of changed the hue of the whole palette at once. So even though it was a different color, it all looked more. It still looked unified and stuff like that. Whereas nowadays they just pick out what looks nice, which sometimes works, but sometimes just looks a bit of a
questionable.
shame. Needless to say, I'm very opinionated about shiny Pokemon.
Sure.
If I'm spending hours looking for something, I want it to look nice. I think like stuff like the Ponyta, where it's sort of like a blue fire,
Yeah, I like that.
because it's like it's still a fire, but it's fire, but it's blue. It's a blue fire. but it's still sort of sticking to the original design. I'm just looking at shiny Pokemon now as examples for my brain. One shiny Pokemon that I really like is Roserade, because they replaced the like blue and red roses with black and purple.
Oh, as anyone who knows me in the chat knows, like just replacing color schemes with purple is just it's a very quick way to earn my favor.
Ace Pride shiny Pokemon. They should make a Pokemon that's like based on like different flags. But I guess that might be a bit too political to actually be a Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't see
It,
Nintendo doing that. Oh, honestly,
if you could
it'd
get
be
like
cool.
different variations.
It'd be really cool, but I don't see them doing.
Hmm. I do like the Pokemon where they've got like different variations. What I really wish is that if they added a feature. Oh yeah, Sylveon. Sylveon is trans pride, indeed.
Yes, I always remember that one.
I'm sure there's one out there somewhere. Like, I'm just looking for all the Pokemon for my pride Pokemon. What I would like to see is like little variations in Pokemon. Like if they've got fur, then just like slight variations in the fur patterns, or just like slightly different. Even if it's just a case of making their fur slightly brighter, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like the way that the Pokemon Spinder, every game it's appeared in,
Yeah,
it has like loads of different possible variations.
I think that would be such a nice way to make Pokemon just a little bit more unique. Like if they've got horns, the horns are slightly different lengths and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, Survivor Hydra.
Survive, Survidra,
I like Survivor.
Survidra.
This and neck's a wee bit funky, and this guy's Kevin. But
Oh God, I'm just reminded of that, like the meme where it's like the two dragon faces and then the derpy one at the end.
yep, Kevin. So, well, I'll pass back over to you.
Oh boy. So then I have to wait